Okay, this morning we're working on what Susie calls one of my experimental strains. She tolerates this one because it does throw some good fish that can be sold as Skyblue OBs. I call it Skyblue and Orange OB. I'm really good at naming things, you may have noticed. That's a real catchy name to make that fish really popular. We had, before I go further, a commenter was complaining that I say too much. And what I want to point out is that these are totally unscripted, impromptu speaking engagements. I see something I want to talk about. I grab Susie, she gets the camera when Carl's not here, and we mic up and I talk. And so I'm thinking as I'm going along. I don't have a prepared statement, so y'all are just going to have to put up with that. I hope the information's worth the bad delivery. Okay, at any rate, during the storm, we lost most of these. We started with about 160 fish. We lost all but 39 of them, and we lost the entire breeding colony. Going through the backup breeders that survived, the 39 of them, I identified 19 females and 20 youngsters. None of the males were big enough to breed. These are some of the young males just starting to color. Some of our females were pretty good sized. And you'll note there are some eggs in the bottom of that vat, so one of the males must have done something. It's unusual for our fish to spit, but that female did spit. Looks like she had about 30 or 40 eggs. Okay, so I'm presented with the problem of not having, despite the eggs, not having a large enough male. Part of the problem is I can't judge how good these are going to be. They need another couple months worth of growth and coloring up before I can tell whether they're good. So I decided to do an outcross, and I can do that with these fish because this is an aquarium strain that I'm creating. And I decided to use a male from our California Dragon Blood Red OB line. And let me explain how that fish came along. About 5 or 6 years ago, we took a trip out to California. I was speaking at clubs in San Francisco and Los Angeles, but going from Los Angeles to San Francisco, we went up the valley and stopped at an aquarium shop that I can't remember the name of now. It's in our record someplace, and they had some Dragon Bloods. We already had some Dragon Bloods, but I liked these. I bought some, and we brought them home. And if you look at other videos, you know that I've talked about the genetics of Dragon Bloods. Dragon Blood has a gold background, and in Peacock Cichlids, that gold background is a dominant gene, or technically an allele, but we'll stick with the gene. Some of the fish that we bought were heterozygous for the wild type non-gold body, and there were also a couple of OBs in the batch. So we ended up with some non-Dragon Blood, non-gold Dragon Blood OBs. And this is a male I picked out of that line. He's faded out a little bit. He's not very happy about being handled. But he's got quite a bit of orange and red in him, kind of sky blue with the OB gene. So I'm going to use him, outcross with him, and see, at least until these young males grow up, and see whether we can make some progress in this line. Like I say, Susie puts up with it because it does produce some really nice Skyblue OBs that we can sell. Okay, so I'm going to put these fish in their new homes and see how they do. We'll know in probably about 6 to 9 months whether this is a good experiment. Good fish keeping.